as a professional, you always prepare yourself during the off season to play 16 games. You approach each game in and of itself. And I think that these guys should just look at that and say, look, we got 5 games left. I have to perform.
Back in 2017, when the Bengals celebrated their 50th season, he was chosen as one of the 50 best retired players in franchise history. I'm talking about former Pro Bowl cornerback Eric E.T. Thomas. And Eric, I wanted to talk to you this week because back in May of 1990, you tore your ACL playing basketball in the off season, but you came back quickly. You were back on the field in 7 months. You went on to play 6 more years at a high level. What advice would you have for Joe Burrow as he begins this journey back?
I think the main thing is he needs to be patient. I mean, this is a very significant injury. There's going to be days where he's going to feel like he can get up and go out there and play. And then 2 days later, he's going to feel like he needs to lay down for a little while and let the knee rest. Take your time, listen to your body, and don't let anyone rush you out there to play. Make sure you go out there when you're completely ready to play.
Eric, I'm sure you watched him closely like any Bengals fan did this year. What stood out the most as you watched Joe play?
You think about arm talent. He's not the arm talent that Carson Palmer was. But I think that what Carson, lacked in, I think, heart and leadership in a lot of ways, this guy gives that. He really does. And I think that he plays that way. That's scary a little bit because when he's a franchise quarterback, he's playing with a lot of heart. He wants to make plays. That's how injuries happen. But at the same time, I think, the fans appreciate it. I know I do. But having a chance to watch him at LSU, just a fantastic player. And I'm just praying that he gets healthy and can come back and be 100%.
You were part of perhaps the best secondary in Bengals history, the SWAT team with David Fulcher and Solomon Wilcots. And
I like the sound of that.
And Lewis Billups, too. I want to throw Lewis's name in there as well. What have you thought of the play of the secondary this year?
Well, it's been spotty. For us, we were very fortunate. As you know, we had Dick LeBeau, who was the mastermind of the zone blitz defense. So with having someone like him devise schemes for us, it made it easier for us to cover. You got to draft players. You got to draft high, cornerbacks in high in the first or second round. That's where the talent comes in. We were talented back on the back end, and when you add that with a great scheme, you get the good results like we had.
You played on a Super Bowl team in 1988, but you also played on some teams that struggled in the early 1990s. With 5 games to go, how do these guys motivate themselves to try to finish strong?
You're a pro, Dan. I mean, I think that's the main thing you have to realize. I never worried about what our record was in terms of how I had to go out there and perform. My job was to perform with a preseason game, whether we had lost 5 in a row. As a professional, you always prepare yourself during the off season to play 16 games. You approach each game in and of itself. And I think that these guys should just look at that and say, look, we got 5 games left. My job's on the line. I have to perform because they're going to go back and look at tape at the end of the year and evaluate who gave up, who wasn't taking care of business.
Great advice for the final month of the season. E.T., great to catch up. Appreciate your time. Thanks so much.
My brother, be well.